Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SmackDown. I'm your host, Christopher Billings, alongside Wes Steele. And last week it was just completely crazy on SmackDown, but Die Hard was posting on his Twitter page over the week saying that questions would be answered. We were in speculation last week, but right now Die Hard is in the ring, and I'm curious to know what he's got on his mind or what's going on, so we're going to hand the stage over to Die Hard here for a second and find out what's going on.
So, for some of you that follow me on Twitter, some of you that just keep up with the things that have been going on, for those of you that didn't get to see Over the Limit, you missed probably one of the greatest matches I think I've had in my extremely long wrestling career. I'm going to tell you a little story. About 12 years ago, 13 years ago now, in 1999, I started wrestling professionally. And through that time, I was despised by you fans, I was loved by the fans, I was all kinds of things by the fans. But one thing that remained was, I was only human. And after so many years of wrestling and doing such extensive things, your body can only take so much. And when your body can only take so much, then that's when you get hurt. And it's no mystery. There's no secret to it. Die Hard has been hurt a lot in his career. I've been hurt a lot. I've been sidelined for a couple of years at a time. I've been sidelined for a year at a time, a few months. Recently I was even sidelined because of an injury. So following Over the Limit, I had some tests run, and the reason being was because I woke up after the match, I was hurting really bad. I was hurting, and I went to the hospital and I had some tests done, and they said that I was wrestling on borrowed time, and I knew that, probably back in 2005, probably 2006, when I almost broke my back. They told me I couldn't do this anymore. And that is one of the most upsetting things for you to tell somebody that has made their lifelong profession being an entertainer. They can't entertain you anymore. They can't come down to the ring. They can't do those things that people love to see them do. And 13 years, you don't just forget about that. You're used to it. You do it every week. And I wasn't supposed to wrestle James Lee. I really wasn't. But it would be disrespectful to him not to do the match. And so I'm not mad at Jordan, I'm not mad at Devin, I'm not mad at James, I'm not mad at James Lee, I'm not mad at Grosser, I'm not mad at anybody for turning their back on me. I did a lot of things in my career here that would not be considered to be the best choices, to being the best leader of men. I was a pretty bad guy, backstage, the politics, everything like that. My biggest dream was always to be the top dog. I was the top dog here in the power plant for a long time, but now it's time for somebody else to take that position. And although the doctors say that I can't wrestle anymore, that they say if I get into another match that I never walk again, if that were to happen, and would I do it all over again? Sure. But just because I can't wrestle doesn't mean that in some shape or capacity does not mean that I will not be involved in the power plant, because I will. This is my company. I own it. One way or another, you will see Die Hard, somewhere along the line, just not so much as in a wrestling capacity. I mean, and by rebranching out to the Raw brand on the PS3, there's one thing I've always wanted to do. And I've always wanted to be a color commentator. I'm not saying I would go to Raw. But starting in February, Christopher Billings will be on Raw. And I will be going to the SmackDown announcers table to call matches. It's not the biggest, greatest thing for me to call matches. I mean, I am a wrestler by nature. But sometimes you gotta do what's right for your body. And what's right for my body right now is to not wrestle. And I know last week Jordan thought that it was a kick to the head that ended my career. It's not a kick to the head. My body is so worn out from years of countlessly putting it on the line. I mean, I put myself on the line, not just for myself, but for the chosen ones, everybody else. Every time I stepped in that ring, and I threw it all away just to give the fans what they wanted to see. Do I regret it? No, because I still make mass amounts of money. I still run the power plant. I am a former power plant champion, one of the longest reigning power plant champions ever. So, aside from me being unable to wrestle anymore, there's a lot that there's going to be going on tonight. We're about 3 weeks away from Breakdown. That is our Royal Rumble. And that Breakdown, 30-man Rumble match. And the winner of that match, they go on to Collision. They face the champion at Collision. I'm sure that Jordan would like to be the champion come Collision, but who knows? In February, he might fight a pretty tough opponent. So, I'm going to leave now. But 3 weeks time, somebody's going to the main event. Could be anybody in the back. It could be, Chuck Davidson or anybody. It could be anybody in the back. So don't be mad at me, folks. That I'm not mad at you. I would redo it all over in a heartbeat. For the 13 years of enjoyment that I got from this. The money that I've made is more than enough. Again, thank you.
I can't believe that.
Very, very strong words there from what I heard. And you're leaving. You're going away.
I know. I can't believe that Die Hard is sending me to Raw. That's not even right. I'm a staple to SmackDown.
Well, you certainly haven't been here for a long time. Wow.
He just ousted me out of my seat. And I'm trying to take over this match that's coming up. That's Chuck Davidson, Bill Saint, and Jake White. Davidson.
And you can see that he's obviously frustrated with how his career has started. Going straight for Chuck Davidson. He's taking a little bit of a beating right now.
I would expect no less from these guys. I mean, all three of these guys are relatively quick, high flyers. I don't think they match up with Shane Sparks and speed-wise, but they take a little risk and playing around. Definitely these two have an inch, or these three have a feel for that, you know. And look at that big steel chair shot right there to Jacob Knight.
Huge shots there from Chuck Davidson.
Now Jacob Knight has a chair. In this match, you know, we're only in the first, oh wow. We're only in the first minute and a half of the match, and we're already seeing steel chairs being used.
We're 10 minutes into the show, and we've got people laid out in the steel chair in the ring.
And this is what, you know, I guess this is the definition of what should be extreme in a match. Quick, high-paced action with, you know, weapons galore.
Yeah, and I mean, there's, like we said, anything is legal in this match. So, Jacob Knight at the table, you can do anything you want in this match.
Exactly. And, you know, Jacob Knight's slid up, like you were saying, he's got the table in the ring, and these three are just, you know, not giving any of the three any room to breathe. They're just attacking each other left and right, just completely beating each other down.
Huge top rope work and Rana, and Chuck Davidson stands right back up.
Now Saint going for the cover. Jacob Knight. I mean, and you can clearly see that all three of these guys, they're all eager for a win. They all want a huge win. And I gotta believe, you know, at the Rumble, one of these three, they've got to walk out as some kind of championship, because I know that these three are still going to go against breakdown. So I'm not sure what capacity it's going to be in, but we were informed by Ryan that there would be a title being reintroduced into the power plant. I'm not sure which title it is.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what that title is. Like we said, Little Saint has held the hardcore title. I believe he's the only one out of these three that has held a title so far. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, what title that is and what capacity these three will be coming against each other at Breakdown. But what I'm more interested to see is, even though they will be going in a match with each other at Breakdown, they will also be in the Royal Rumble. So you've got to imagine that's going to be a factor when you go into a Royal Rumble match. Having already competed that night, you're going to be very tough.
Exactly, and you know, it's one of those things, though. I mean, it really does show, you know, how much resiliency we have. If you can win one match at the Royal Rumble and then hypothetically win the Rumble. I mean, if you can win the normal match and then win the Royal Rumble, you definitely can go the limit. But everybody's going to push their limit to break that, because everybody except, we don't know who Jordan Moore is facing. I don't even know what capacity our champion is going to be used in at Breakdown, but I know that everybody else will be in matches, and I'm pretty positive that upper management probably has a couple of surprises for us in store for Breakdown. I don't know exactly who or in what form, but I know that there's going to be a few surprises.
Yeah, and I talked to Linda, and she said that she had a couple of surprises in terms of who would be in the Rumble match. So I'm also very excited to see how that goes.
Well, at least they're doing this. At least one is making all the surprises on the last night in SmackDown commentary. Well, at least I get to be a part of the surprise, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, they could just got ready to just...
Let's not give Die Hard any ideas, okay? I mean, and look at, now Jacob Knight has a ladder that's about twice the size of him.
I mean, it shows how bad you want it.
What's he thinking here? What is he thinking? He's running. He's...
Up the ladder.
And he missed.
He just got back up. He just ran up the ladder. He was probably 20 feet off the jumped, went for a dropkick on Saint, and totally beefed him.
That is why, you know, these young competitors, they have a lot of guts. They do. They're not the smartest guys. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying. I mean, they're not always the most intelligent when they do things. And he's seriously going to hurt himself.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that think on our show, and I've seen what they see on TV, and they try it, and just like they
Exactly. And Jacob Knight here, I mean, I understand that, you know, he's still learning the ropes. And you know, Trent Davidson, he's still learning the ropes. I think Will Saint kind of has the most experience out of these three guys in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, in terms of young superstars, I mean, Jacob Knight is definitely fun to watch. I don't know if you, wow, he just said that table on fire.
Yeah. Table on fire.
Tag team that we saw once or twice, his name is Daniel Frost, and we wish him the best. He's really great.
Exactly, and you know that's one of those unfortunate side effects of being an in-ring competitor in wrestling. You always have the chance to get injured, and you have to try to wrestle through the injuries, and that's why, in a way, I can't really be mad at Diehard for retiring. I mean, he did it for 13 years straight. He's tired, and you know, I don't want to say he's an old man. But I think he knows that, you know, his time is kind of up, and you know, it's time for him to pass the torch.
I mean, like you said, one of his
most definitely Diehard's time. I mean, he's always been a great in-ring competitor. He's always done, you know, those things that he needed to do to win. He's always proclaimed he always does what he needs to do. But he was on a real steep downfall over the past, few months. You know, he was getting progressively worse and slower.
And I think it sort of started back when that problem, the issue happened with Jordan and Diehard's brother. I think that was sort of the turning point, because Jordan didn't start having a problem with Diehard until he had time, and until he they lost pretty quickly. So it's just been bad events for that.
Yeah. Well, I do know start. You know, they haven't given the time or the day that it will start. But when it does, the James Perry will be on, which is impressive because I didn't think he was going to be pulled back. I guess they said that he should be able to be in the ring within the next maybe couple of weeks.
I can't exactly blame him for being around Jordan. So.
Well, I don't know if it was because he didn't want to be. I don't know what that may have been the reason. I don't know. It wasn't from that he would be on Raw, so of course I'll still be watching. But I won't get to see Jordan more. I won't get to see Jake and Saint and James Lee. I won't get to see anybody anymore in February.
And then that brings up a whole new round of questions, and that's who's going to be on the roster.
Exactly.
I mean, are we going to be losing some people on SmackDown that you'll take with you to bringing in a whole new round of superstars?
You know, that's the thing. I really don't know. I wish I did, because it would be great to know this way I was getting into, so I can do a little bit of homework. But all I know is I have two names that were given to me from last Wednesday. One of the names was chosen. The name was Dante Cage, and I got to follow him
makes me think that it's going to be a whole new packs with superstars, which, you know, will be lucky for you because you get to meet all these new up-and-coming people. But
well, I just received a text message here from Melinda Guerrero, and she says that for our pay-per-views, I'll still be on the commentary table with you. So it'll still be me and you on the commentary table. Evidently Die Hard won't be at the pay-per-views.
that shows how much faith that Melinda has.
Well, it might be that she doesn't have faith in him, or it might be that she's worried that he might try to interfere or something. Oh, and a quick roll up here by Jacob. Folks, we do apologize that we're staying with the action in this match. It's just there's a lot of things that have happened in the first 4 minutes of the show here. It just really takes us forward.
You know, and I'm kind of amazed that it's been running for 5 or 6 minutes.
Exactly, and that's the surprising part. Well, they gotta have some kind of background. As you saw, Charlie Davidson just clocked the referee. You can't pin the referee, Davidson. You can't pin the referee.
You can't get a pin when the referee's not there.
Will Saint he's been throwing the chest of Jacob Knight into that flaming table. And I understand that he falls back as soon as it hits, but still, he's having flaming table contact on his leg.
There's been a lot of hard contact. I mean, some of this, like we said, we do apologize for non-seconds in the match, but there's definitely been exciting things in the match along with outside.
Yeah,
we are doing our best.
We are trying our best to call this match to its proximity. With 3 men in the ring, it does get a little complicated sometimes. And all 3 of these guys, they're all hungry. But the hunger issue is a huge thing. Now, Will Saint bare chest at least with Jacob Knight, he had a little bit of protection with his shirt. Chuck Davidson, he's getting torn apart. Jacob Knight, Saint is now setting up the ladder up against the flaming table. And I'd imagine it's going to be it's going to run down that flaming table.
They I believe it was Jacob Knight and then against the table a little bit ago.
Exactly. I wouldn't know what to talk about.
But I mean, it does show, you know, the heart that people they want to do great things here in the Heartland, and this is their opportunity.
It is their opportunity, and I know that these 3 guys will get another opportunity for whatever. I wish that Melinda would inform us more for everything. That would be great because then we'd know what we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of left us in the dark, which is kind of important, but Charlie Davidson just spear Will Saint through the
Saint, he calls this the ghetto kick. And wait a second, he's pinning Davidson. He is pinning Davidson 1, 2, 3, and
he just took the win from right under the belt of Jacob Knight. He hit Chuck Davidson with that big swanton bomb on the top rope, and Will Saint gets up.
I think I'm big meat,
hit right to the side. So not as fancy as that Golden North head touch.
Hallelujah.
But still,
One nation under God. Real is getting money from the start. I think I'm big meat.
Our tag match, we're going to see Brick Wall and Jamie Hall. But wait a second, there's AC Arthurs with a huge clothesline. Wow, why is AC Arthurs attacking Brick Wall and now Brick Wall trying to fight back here a little bit? Now AC Arthur, this is totally broken up between, these guys were a tag team. You know, and it's unfortunate because they were a great tag team, and then it all broke down at Over the Limit.
Yeah, and they were a very good tag team, I might add. They probably one of the best tag teams I've seen here in the power plant in a long time, but what is
Oh!
Ooh!
I mean, this
Straight-
is...
Wow. I just don't understand how you can go from being somebody's partner, somebody you rely on a weekly basis, to doing this to somebody.
You know, and that's what I don't understand either. I mean, these guys were, you know, the team. You know, they were the clique, and now it's just completely broken down. And now Brick Wall with a big running German suplex to the back. He's just trying to hold on here. You know, and
That German suplex did a lot to Arthur's. You can tell by the body language that how he'd been getting up after everything that Brick Wall had been dishing out, but he didn't move much after that German suplex.
well, I guess after you take a German suplex on a cement ground, I guess it's going to take a little bit of wear and tear on your body. I mean, I can't believe that AC Arthurs is doing this. I mean, look, and we have no officials in the back breaking this up. There should be officials in the back stopping this from happening. These guys have a match, like, up next. Oh, wait a second. What is Arthur's thinking here? Wait a second. Arthur's, no, don't do it through the glass window. Oh, my God. Arthur's just threw Brick Wall through the glass window. I cannot believe it. Folks, regardless of that, we still do have to do that tag team match. I don't think that Brick Wall will be here with us. But I can't believe that AC Arthurs is going to this kind of extreme to, you know, prevent Brick Wall from being able to compete. And, you know, no suicide kill. Very, very unfortunate. Receiving a note or receiving a message here that we have some penalties on back checking out Brick Wall. He looks like he's not in good shape to go to that. Switching back over to this match, I mean, Suicide he's had a definite interesting last couple of months. He's probably one of our fastest rising superstars in the company. He's, you know, quickly climbed the title, picked it up and won it. He won it in a match against Extreme. And Extreme was considered to be one of And the funny thing is when you talk to Monroe, outside of the wrestling ring, he's probably one of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever known. But in that ring, he's just this totally, diabolical, evil person.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely steps up to the ring, and he's got, he takes a, make sure he takes an example
As you saw, Suicide Kid there was getting a little, or Jamie Hall was getting a little anxious there. He needs to keep focused on both of these gentlemen because this is a 2-on-1. This is a handicap on tag. They have to tag in and out to get in. But we're talking AC Arthur's one of our hottest, one of our most popular superstars in the power plant who, has this amazing career building up. And we've got Monroe, who is probably the biggest veteran of these three. He definitely has more experience. When you think of the age limits of when superstars should and shouldn't, we have a lot of superstars like 19 and the rank, a lot of that are in their real early 20s, under 25 years old. And then we have Alexander Monroe, he's 20 years old. And Diehard, who was pushing almost 40. So,
huge age difference. Right?
Exactly. I mean, the age gap. When Diehard started wrestling professionally, 6 years after he was wrestling professionally, he had he started receiving all these big injuries and all that. I always wondered, did Diehard train his kid to be a wrestler? I've always wondered that. He's never really talked about it. I've seen him at backstage at the events. He's not really good at wrestling.
Nice kid. Straight being the son who he is.
Exactly. I give Jamie Hall credit. He is trying to hang in here with these two, but these two are gonna. I don't think it's gonna be good for Jamie Hall. I just don't see it happening because no matter what, no matter which one he gets an advantage on, the other one's gonna be able to get one.
Yeah, I mean, with what we saw happen to it's not his fault. He's going to suffer consequences.
Exactly, and it's come to the point where, like Brick Wall and Jordan, those are some of the longer running guys in the power plant. And I was watching some of their old footage, and I saw James Lee. I mean, look, it's Ace Arthur's now. Let's go back into the ring. Do your match. But like I was saying, like Jordan and Brick Wall and James Lee, those guys, they have been around for a while, and again, touching on the age thing, but Diehard always had 12, 13 years in age. It's crazy, but Diehard did invest his money well, and he tried wrestling professionally, and then made his own. always makes you wonder because, I mean, I heard the stories about, Die Hard's training facility. That's what Die Hard calls his training facility. And from what I understand, it made Stu Hart's yeah, from what I understand, he basically has an obstacle course in there somewhere, and literally, if you don't get done what's supposed to be done, I mean, I remember reading a story, it was posted, I think 6 or 7 years ago, maybe it was 5 years ago when Jordan Moore first started wrestling in TCO. He had documented about training at TCO, and I remember he said that Die Hard gave him the ultimatum of, if you don't do this, and I think he said it was like 8.5 minutes, then this is the consequence you would suffer. And the consequence was this amazingly large fucking strap. And I guess the strap weighed about 95 pounds, and you would strap it on your body and make you rerun the course until you did it within the 8.5 minutes. And carrying around an additional 100 pounds on top of your normal body weight, you would not be able to do that in 8.5 minutes or whatever it's training for.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't allowed to say much about what it is. They likes to keep what he does in his facility to himself. And I mean, for good reason.
It's totally illegal. I mean, it's totally illegal. And look at this man with the huge snake eyes there. Oh, kick to the leg, and then that snap on DDT. Wait a second, why is Monroe still in there? Monroe, a huge moonsault. Wait a second, Arthur's, he's setting him up. This may be the end for Jamie Hall here. Then the big play of the day from the ice cold AC Arthur's into the cover. And this one completely 1, 2, 3, and just like that. Very, very impressive. They look really good as a team. It's surprising because as far as I know, they're good.
Well, and I mean, people like Jordan Moore also.
Doesn't get a shot at the title tonight, but he does get to face the champion.
And maybe if he can make a name for himself in that match, then he can earn himself a title match, or at least maybe if he can win a match, being that bigger guy like I was talking about earlier, he would have an idea if he gets that match what he's got going on.
Well, I'd have to say one of the people that I would be pulling for in the Rumble would definitely be Shane Sparks. But I'd be pulling for Shane Sparks as well because he's so fast. I mean, he may not have the strength advantage, but he definitely has a speed advantage over everybody. He can hang on to those ropes a lot better than anybody else. I mean, look at that quick over, but the big float over DDT from Shane Sparks, and that's what we're talking about, that speed. just magnificent, magnificent speed. The quick arm drags off the ropes again with a big attempted springboard dropkick, but James Lee just kind of sidestepped it there.
Yeah, he got out of the way of it. It's very smart. Huge knee to the face, but then I think he just sort of, excuse my language, I think he sort of pissed him off. James Lee picked him up, huge spine buster, got him in the corner, shot clothesline. If he can slow down the speed and set the pace on this match,
just a few moments ago, we saw that huge seated spine buster from James Lee to Shane Sparks, and it's weird because when you think of when you watch these guys that were TCO, you watch the real old wrestling videos, like matches they were in before they were in TCO. You don't see them doing too many spine busters, and I don't know if maybe that was just like a patent for the chosen ones or what, but they all do it so beautifully. I mean, Jordan Moore's spine buster looks like it breaks your back. And with James Lee,
like you said, so does James Lee. It's just the strength, and even though it is a spine buster, it's nothing supposed to be pretty, but it's graceful.
Exactly, and they do it like they were born with the natural ability to do it. I'm not saying that was like one of the deciding moves for TCO, but I mean those guys, the way that they do their moves, they are the definition of perfection.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you say that they were born with it, and I mean that's why they were in the chosen. It's a statement in their life. This is what they do.
And that's why, although I may not agree with everything that Diker did, throughout the course of his career and things like that, he was still a great mentor for these guys. I mean, he gave them the tools to succeed, and now Jordan Moore, living proof, you can succeed, you can become the biggest champion. It is possible. And he had the right attitude about it. And James Lee just swatted Shane Sparks away, and I always wondered where these guys would be now had they not been the chosen. Would there be somebody else? Would they still be wrestling?
Or, how different would it be if TCO not grown?
Yeah, that would be a lot of the guys on the roster probably left their jobs. They probably would have left.
It's a definite possibility. You see, I feel bad doing this, but I really want to compare TCO if they would have stayed together to better known, like Evolution.
I would firmly believe that TCO probably would go toe to toe with them, hands down. And it's not even just because the diehard age or being a great mentor. It was just the collection of guys that were in the chosen ones. They were so phenomenal in the ring. I mean, you could put Jordan Moore on a team with, James Lee or even James Braden at the time before recent events that over the limit and Mercy, but they were all phenomenal. They could go from being a singles competitor to being amazing tag team competitors. It was just one of those things. They were all amazing at what they did, and maybe that's what got them.
Very true. And I mean, collectively, TCO has held the tag team championship with Jordan Moore, James Lee, Diehard, and I mean, there have been so many combinations of people that have won that title. It's incredible, TCO.
Yeah, and within the power plant alone, with everybody accounted for that was in the chosen ones, they've held the tag team title 6 times. Exactly, and then outside of the power plant, collectively, I think the last time they did a poll, it was about 32 times for everybody that has ever been trained, that has ever been in the chosen ones, and that's a lot of times to hold the title.
That's like you said, it's an incredible number. But kind of getting back to speed on this match here, Shane Sparks has been trying to pick apart James Lee, he uses that crystal that it's a choke, it's a stretch. I'm not even sure how to describe it.
It hurts.
Definitely trying to wear down James, but he's not given a huge kick to the side of the head and pin here.
Well, I give Shane Sparks credit. He's going in there. He's trying to stick it out with James Lee, but I mean, at this rate, it almost looks like James Lee is, he's kind of on cruise control now. This is where he wants it to be in the match. He wants it to be Shane Sparks for his title.
Yeah, and it's kind of strange to compare this as well, but with as much speed and agility that Shane Sparks has, if he doesn't keep that pace, with the slow pace, I think it makes the complete difference.
Oh yeah, because he's used to the high flying and being quick on his feet. And when you're in a match with somebody like James Lee, he can go fast, he can go slow. He like you said, he dictates the speed. He sets the pace for the match.
That's definitely true. A huge whip against the ropes, underneath, goes to that spinning wheel kick, and James Lee sidesteps it. He didn't fight that.
Yeah, again sidestep it the second time. Then a big attempted springboard there and didn't connect all of it, but did connect a little bit. He's down. James Lee is now back to his feet. It's the size advantage that James Lee has over Shane Sparks. He was able to, get up from, that springboard, and it looked like the knee of Shane Sparks hit him right in the forehead, and he was still able to get it.
As small as he is, I think the shock factor, something along the lines of, wow, I just got kicked in the face, as opposed to, force hitting somebody square in the jaw and they're pulling them out. It's just that shock factor, that's what he takes advantage of. Just not enough to get the pin. If he gets stunned somewhere, get him on the ground.
Exactly, and that does play out for him. But as you see, shades of being a bad guy from James Lee. They're just kind of choking Shane Sparks and cutting the air off to the runs using the turnbuckle post nuts. Wait a second.
He's going for it.
And then a huge double underhook facebuster, otherwise also known as a pedigree. I mean, just things like this. I mean, with James Lee, he's always been known to be one of the purest blue bloods that was ever in the show. I mean, this guy, from what I understand, he has a very decorated wrestling history, and it wasn't just professional wrestling; it was high school wrestling, college wrestling. So.
Yeah, James Lee, before he got into the Joe's office, was actually very good at this one. We don't have a lot of stand-ups like that. He's got Shane Sparks up on his shoulder. Huge, I don't know what to call that. It was a tornado backbuster off his back and got the pin on him. He's got 1, 2.
Only a 2 count. And Shane Sparks might just be
I'm sure it was. He's got James Lee back in the corner now. Flying crossbody. Up on the ropes and jumps. Fantastic hurricane on it, but you can tell that he's tired. Days of
Yeah, as you were saying, James Lee was huge on the independent circle. I mean, he was probably one of the most popular independent circle guys. And I remember before I was hired way before I was hired, I went to a house show for this company, and he was there. And he made the fans love him in a matter of moments and made them despise him in 20 seconds. He's got the it factor. He is the total package.
He definitely does.
And with Jordan Moore, he was a highly decorated high school wrestler, and he went from that. And he was able to almost skip the independent circuit because he was at a show that I was at before they were kind of chit-chatting about that, and things just kind of went from there. And because of Jordan Moore,
But on a side note, Chance Sparks just hit the crucifix.
He did, and now he needs to take advantage of he's going to the top rope. And ooh!
He just James rolling into the ring at the last second. He's got him back to his feet.
And again, that's the ring struggle. That's the ring struggle that these guys have. I mean, they just have the ability to, at that last moment, just pull that one quick maneuver out and get out of the
I thought that was it for James. I thought Chance Sparks had it.
Hey, I definitely thought he did too. I think that James may have been playing this pulled the rule over. Wait a second, what's he doing here? This is shades of Die Hard's old finisher roll of the dice. He does it almost as good as Die Hard. Actually, I think he does it better than that. He does it faster and with more passion.
Setting up one more time. Double under. Face buster. And going for the pin.
Maybe this one will be over.
2, 3, and James Sparks can't keep going back. James Lee extends
By another one. He is, he's almost building his own. This guy holds the undefeated streak for over 2 years.
That's it. Absolutely.
It is very important. The next matchup it was me who told me to get him back. But now that I'm doing it, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's always been, this exceptional, well-progressed, competitive. These guys. There's a lot of David and Goliath matches. When you put, Extreme in a match, it's like Goliath versus David Jones. Because he's so physically big. His shoulders are about the size of a superstar's head.
Yeah, he's enormous. He's one of the biggest fighters we have here in the power plant, and I'm gonna have to say, Extreme is my pick to win.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking too. He was one of my picks for the Rumble, just because. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got power, he's got agility. He is, in a nutshell, one of the biggest guys we have. And he's good. He's really good with that. He's a great guy on the back. I mean, he's very business educated, and it's funny because the story. I know that we're giving a lot of stories of how people got involved in the whole thing, but the story with Extreme was Die Hard was in the process show freak, you know, because he's such a big guy. And Extreme has literally stuck around the entire time.
Yeah, and it's a huge pickup for Die Hard, and he's been a big impact here on SmackDown. I mean, he was a tag team champion with so many people. One of them being they were fantastic tag team.
Yeah, they were the total package for the tag team. And then Die Hard, when he wanted to take some time off, you know, he stripped everybody of their titles. And so technically, I don't think that Jordan Morris was the tag team titles.
I don't think they did either. And it's the same way with Jordan and James Lee. You know, we sort of like we did here recently. We got a little bit of facelift in the arena. We took some time off, and that's when Jordan and James Lee lost their titles. Also, they didn't ever lose titles. So I don't think Jordan Morris ever lost a tag team title.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, there was a lot of champions that never lost their titles, but yet the titles always somehow changed hands. Or somehow that was kind of in his possession. I think that maybe because I don't want to say he was being greedy, but he was being greedy.
Well, I mean, when you're the boss of a company, there's perks that come with that.
Yeah, but he literally robbed, you know, the guys that he trained of the goal that they worked for.
And I mean, you kind of see that with Jordan and James, and sort of first of all have come to realize that they are above what Die Hard has let them be.
Exactly. I mean, Die Hard says he gave them the chance to prove themselves and this and that, but every time that they get something, he takes it away, and that's not fair to them.
Well, it's definitely fair to all. And I mean, that's kind of what we see with Jordan, our champion right now, saying that he's here to bring prestige to the title, and he's trying to be the champion that Die Hard was.
Exactly. And that's the perfect mentality for him to have, because at least we know that Jordan did something decent. Look at this camera culture by Extreme. I mean, he's kind of exceptionally Craig Hazard's still taking it to Extreme in this match. He's going in there and he's sticking it out. And look at this. I mean, Craig Hazard, he's looking great in his return match. And then, Extreme big kick to the face. And now you know what's coming. He's going to bail him across the ring with that front press.
He's just Craig Hazard isn't exactly small, halfway across the ring.
You know, and that's one of the things I love tuning in to see Extreme. I almost wish that Extreme was going to Raw, but from what I understand, he's staying on SmackDown with everybody on SmackDown. So,
I mean, Extreme has been a staple in SmackDown. He's been implemented into SmackDown. His prestigious career has taken place in the entirety of it in SmackDown. I mean, I don't see how you can.
well, exactly. I mean, he did participate in one Raw matchup, and he completely dominated. It was Dante Cage, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name off the top of my head. But he dominated that match, and now he's still very dominant. And I know people, they tune in to SmackDown. They tune in to see Jordan more Extreme, Hazard. Well, they didn't tune in to see that.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree. Huge following for Extreme. I really feel like we're not concentrating on the matches today.
Well, I know, but there's just so much going on, and we're so close to the Royal Rumble. Tonight was just a big, thing for everything that's going on. Craig Hazard he's taking it to extreme. I'm not going to take anything away from Craig Hazard for that one. A big hurricane out of the corner, though.
Yeah, Craig Hazard is putting on a show for his return match. He's definitely taking it to extreme. I just got a text from Linda Guerrero. I can't imagine what she's texting me.
saw earlier. That was
Yeah, I mean, if you got a battle that's going to have at least part of the competitors that were in that match. And excuse me, it's a, she said she doesn't know if it's going to be a triple threat or a fatal four-way, but it's going to be a multi-man match for that title. So that'll be something very interesting.
That is definitely interesting. Racing Extreme, he's got him in the corner. He's taunting up that arm. He calls this the clothesline from behind on the corner. That is ironic because when you have 290 pounds going at you in the corner, you know, it's kind of unanimous. It's going to be. Wait a second. Extreme is taunting him. He's going. He calls this the memory eraser. Look at this, into the cover of 1, 2, only a 2 count for Craig Hazard.
How did he kick out of that?
Craig Hazard, I knew with him returning that we would see great things. And look at that, he kicked him in the face but did not knock him down.
I'm still shocked he got out of that pain.
I am too, but I am sure that Craig Hazard, you know, he's definitely got the will to go the distance, and he's always been one of my favorites, and now he's got Extreme getting back to his feet, and Extreme trying to shake it off, big drop kick to the face.
See if we can keep him down there. 1, 2.
Almost
Still gonna have to.
Oh, this is becoming a nail biter right here. I'm eager to know who's gonna win. I am enjoying this too. It's great that, you know, Craig Hazard is able to really keep going the distance in his return. I mean, a lot of these guys have changed over the last years here, but Craig Hazard pulls him back in. Oh, that foot right across the chin there, kick to the abdomen. Listen, Craig Hazard, the Messiah moonsault using the ropes as leverage there. Hooks the far leg into the cover. 1, 2, almost a 3 count again.
You can see. Oh my God. Extreme might have just knocked him.
2, only a 2 count again. This has a lot of back and forth.
I was gonna say you saw Extreme get up. He was kind of holding his chest and side a little bit. I was gonna say I think he's finally doing some damage, but then it just sort of collapsed Hazard. Hasn't been
that would be a Cobra clutch. He was really wrenching on it. I mean, Extreme was trying to get out of it. As powerful as Extreme is, he just could not get free.
Well, a lot of people like that use leverage in a move that isn't something that you can just book out of because it's your own body weight being used against you. That strength that Extreme has definitely helps you. Across your neck, I mean that's a lot of meat, a lot of muscle being pushed into your throat.
Well, Hazard is definitely, if he can take out Extreme's arms, then Extreme, you know, he won't be able to pick him up into his powerhouse moves. But Extreme able to get hold of it. I see it now.
Behind, switching position.
Spinal tap right to the middle of the spine. Kick, nothing fancy about it. Definitely hurts.
He picks Extreme back up.
Oh!
To the knee.
Wait a second. Extreme was on the ropes. Oh, throws him back. Wait a second. What's Hazard thinking here? Hazard off the ropes. Knee to the back side of the skull. And then, oh, that reality check from Craig Hazard. Craig Hazard sitting on the top rope. What's he going to do here? He's taunting. He calls that the 720 shooting star. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. And Craig Hazard takes out the that's the ladies and gentlemen, neither one of the month of February to wonder, who's Jordan Moore going to face.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't end up having a title match at Breakdown, I would take that as a disadvantage. If he doesn't have a match, he doesn't have a way to compete against. That's an entire week where he doesn't have work.
Exactly. And, I mean, Jordan Moore definitely deserves to be in matches. I mean, like, Bucky Sparks weighs, I don't know, I think he weighs 315. And, Jordan Moore was just seating him, but, just like that full Nelson. Definitely difference. And then a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there from Bucky Sparks, going for a quick cover on the champion. And only a 1 count. And that shows the resilience of Jordan Moore.
Jordan Moore definitely comes from the mindset that he is the best in the world. He does do everything he possibly can to win matches.
Well, having the championship around his waist does make him the best in the world, and a huge spear from the top rope to the outside. I mean, this fight is breaking out to the outside now. A big headbutt there. Jordan Moore, definitely one of the guys that is he's very creative with his surroundings. So he used it to his advantage. And now, Jordan Moore is in control again.
Yeah, and I mean, you see that with all of his matches, and it's kind of a trademark. He likes to take it to the outside. He likes to use his environment against his opponents. And you can't blame him.
We're at an 8 count. Now Bucky gets back in the ring. I was like Bucky going back out. Oh, but Jordan using a little bit of an in-ring psyche there, pulled him, and then Jordan Moore went for something there, but Bucky kind of moved out of the way.
He sort of sidestepped, I think, a spinning kick, but missed. But I think he caught those steel steps on his way down too, which is sort of why he's dazed and not really with it. I think Bucky is just being on the outside of the
Oh yeah, I mean, when Jordan's on the outside, Jordan with a big springboard, he didn't hit all that drop kick to the knee, but he did hit a little bit of it. I definitely think if he would have fully connected with that drop kick, it probably would have taken Bucky down. Because
Jake punching the line, now get the backside of Bucky and push him back to the ground.
Because yeah, I mean, Jordan Moore is not the biggest competitor, but he's got the heart of Bucky has him in the corner, a headbutt to the abdomen, and then a kick right to the small of the back, and that'll rearrange your punches.
Definitely, and Bucky does have the fight of the champion now, but we've seen this in every match that Jordan's been in, kind of since the start of his career, and that's the fact that Jordan may let try to hit him a little bit, but more or less it's just psychological mindset to make him getting an advantage, so he can take advantage of them getting a little bit cocky or a little bit, getting ahead of themselves a little bit.
He lets them get overconfident with themselves, and then he totally gets them in every way, shape, and form. And right now, Jordan Moore is doing what he does best. This is what he is considered the best in the world at what he does. And as you see, this one to the top rope here, big elbow drop. And now look at Jordan stalking Bucky Sparks. Just like that, this match turned into his favor. And just a few moments ago, we thought that it was going to be Bucky that was going to win, and now Jordan with a and that is how it's done right there. Like the same,